Welcome to another video.
Hey, Zhongguo. I'm going to be talking about the 5 things that foreigners hate about Chinese people the most. And for all my Chinese friends and subscribers, down in the comments, I'd like you to write the 5 things that Chinese people hate about foreigners the most, because that's an upcoming video that I'll be doing with my wife. So please give me your suggestions down there. Anyway, let's begin. What are the 5 things that foreigners hate the most about Chinese people? I have to reiterate, because it seems that most people don't understand what generalization is, but I am, of course, generalizing here. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the lack of compassion and empathy. This must be the number one thing that both myself and all of my foreign friends gripe about all the time when it comes to living in China. Or, hello, 中国人. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, the lack of compassion and empathy that you see in China is astounding. And I'm talking about all sorts of things. If you see somebody get hurt, it's very seldom people will actually step forward to help them. And of course, there are reasons for this, which I've discussed in the past. You know, there's a lot of scams and there's a lot of people taking advantage of other people here. So people are scared. And also, you know, when you've got such a huge amount of people, you get that bystander effect. Either way, it is still a massive, massive problem here. So not only is it when it comes to helping other people, but animals as well. It's very common to see people boiling animals alive, you know, cooking animals alive, doing all sorts of terrible things to animals, beating them, because there's absolutely no law against animal cruelty in China. So also the whole thing about, you know, killing animals for their parts for traditional Chinese medicine, things like that. So, you know, the lack of empathy and compassion is really quite disturbing, and I'd place that as the top of the list. Number 2, lack of foresight. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that in China, you've got this phenomenon where people will grab something now without thinking about the future. They don't really have any long-term goals when it comes to things like business, friendships, that kind of thing. So if an opportunity arises now for, let's say, for somebody to make 10,000 RMB, but if they were to take that opportunity now and forego making 100,000 RMB over a year, they would take the 10,000 RMB now. And of course, this sours a lot of business deals, because, you know, you might order a product from a factory and they can save costs by giving you a faulty product. And so they do that. And then you end up with a faulty product and you never do business with them again. And this is very unfortunate, because it sours business deals, like I said, and it also sours relationships, because there's a very much a grab now, don't think about the consequences sort of thing going on here in China. And this is what leads to things like food scandals, fake drugs, the milk powder scandal. All of that kind of stuff comes out of this short-sightedness. Next thing I'm going to talk about is rude social etiquette. I'm talking about things like cutting in queues, urinating in public. It's usually the children that do that, but spitting in public, you know, these kind of general things. Talking very loudly on the phone when you're in a public place, like a bus or a train. These are really a big bugbear of most of the foreigners I know as well. And it's one of those things that I think is, you know, generally the older generation is responsible for this. However, the younger generation, a lot of them have picked up this habit too. And it's really annoying, and I guess the only thing that can fix this is education. You know, it's not good to spit. If anyone here watching this video thinks it's okay to spit on the floor, on the ground when you're in public, you know what? That spreads disease. I don't know if you ever learned anything about disease and pathogens and stuff, but don't spit because it's bad for everybody's health around you. And it's disgusting. Do it in the bathroom. Okay, rant over. Number 4, having money as a god. Now, this is a bit of a byproduct of religion being completely wiped out during the Cultural Revolution, etc. But I'm sure you can notice behind me we have all the New Year's decorations. They're up there, but a lot of this is all about bringing fortune and bringing money. You see, it's all about coins and fake coins and stuff. It's all about money, money, money. And, you know, if you spend any time with Chinese people, you'll start to realize that money is the most important thing in their lives. Of course, money first, family second. Maybe money, food, then family, or money, family, then food, something like that. But those seem to be the top 3 priorities in, daily life here in China. And it's unfortunate because it leads to a lot of the societal problems that happen here. Because money is put above morals, and in other words, it supersedes morals, people will scam, do immoral things, sell their own mother if they can make money. You know what I mean? This should probably actually move all the way up to number 1, to be honest, because all the scams, all the scandals, all the, poisoning of children, etc., etc., all comes from the fact that people put money above everything else. And I'm not saying that Western people aren't greedy, and that Western people don't chase money. Of course they do. Depending on the country, etc., etc., people do terrible things for money. But the problem is, it's ingrained in Chinese society that money is so important that it gets put above life, and it gets put above people's well-being, and it gets put above friendship. And it's really annoying, because if you're from the West, money, at least the people I hang around with and my family, etc., money is not that important. Money is a tool. Money is something that you use in order to, live a nice life, or in order to do things, but it definitely isn't put above the livelihood of other people, and it's never put above your morals, because morals can't be bought. Number 5, lack of individuality. Now, this may come as a surprise to some of you out there, but China has a very collectivist society. In other words, people like to be the same. People don't like to stand out. This is, of course, a product of history. It's been like this for a long time. It's Confucianist values and, of course, communism and all that kind of thing. The nail that stands out gets hammered down. So people like to all be the same. They kind of like to have the same ideas. They kind of like to aspire to the same things. They like to drive the same sort of cars, wear the same sort of clothes, have the same sort of hairstyles. You get the picture. It's basically a very sort of collectivist society. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to say that should change. But it is something that really annoys foreigners. Like I said, that's the point of this video, are the 5 things foreigners hate about Chinese people. And this is one of them. And the reason for this is, of course, people don't make up their own minds. People don't have their own ideas about things. And this is incredibly apparent if you ever look at the comments section of my videos. When somebody thinks that I've said something bad about China, which happens quite a lot because there's of course, a language barrier, and sometimes some of the things I say in my videos can very easily be construed as harsh criticism of China. So what will happen is you'll get somebody reads it incorrectly, goes online on the Chinese internet and says, this foreigner is saying blah, 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 blah. Next minute, you'll see like 10 million comments. Okay, not that many, but you'll see hundreds of comments all saying, you are a blah, 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 blah. In my comment sections, I delete most of them because they're all the same. Anyway, next month, somebody will discover something I've said in my videos, and then they'll go post it online, and then you'll get another 100-odd comments saying the same thing. Oh, you are a blah, 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 blah. So there's all these funny rumors going on around the Chinese internet about me. Things like my wife supports me and that I make money by saying bad things about China, and I've got foreign powers paying me, and this kind of crap, which of course is nonsense. But it's really funny to see the lack of individuality. And so when somebody says something or spreads a rumor, an incorrect rumor, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, and instead of having their own individual thought, they just follow the leader like a sheep. So this is quite annoying. It's also annoying when it comes to, just the vibrance of life. If you look around, you'll see the same shops. Even though they're not the same chain, you'll see the same sort of shops, same sort of signs, same sort of food, same sort of attitudes. And it doesn't matter if you're in the very south of China, the very north, the very east, the very west. You'll find a lot of the same sort of attitudes and the same sort of things. And so it can actually be quite boring. And this is one of the things that we don't like. Hello. Hello. Where are you? There you are. 你好。很高兴认识你啊。 Cool. But you know, the thing is, at the end of the day, get past this noisy truck. I should have added noise to the list because I'm pretty sure you noticed just during this video how noisy China is. At the end of the day, I do absolutely love China, and the reason why I'm pointing out these 5 things is because I secretly hope that these 5 things will improve. Because if these problems can be overcome, I think China will be an incredible place, you know? And so I'm also looking forward to the feedback from my Chinese subscribers and Chinese fans, because I would like to know from them, from their point of view, what they hate about foreigners, because it's always good to know what you can improve. So I'm looking forward to the feedback. Thank you guys for watching, as always. It's good to be back in China. You know, I've just come back from that trip to America, and that's coming soon. In fact, in a couple of days, you'll see the first episode of our new series about Chinese food. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. Anyway, enough waffling on. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you in the next video. And until next time, you know the drill. Stay awesome.